I almost crashed my car when I saw the "For Sale" sign planted in front of my childhood home. The steering wheel jerked under my hands as I swerved, earning an angry honk from the car behind me. My heart hammered against my ribs as I pulled over, hands shaking. My name is Brooke, and that house wasn't supposed to be for sale. Ever. I fumbled for my phone, dialing my mother's number while staring at the red and white sign through my windshield. Each ring felt like an eternity. "Hello, sweetie," Mom answered, her voice artificially bright. That's when I knew she'd been hoping to avoid this call. "Why is there a "For Sale" sign in front of Grandma's house?" My voice cracked. "Our house?" The silence on the other end stretched too long. "Well, your father and I have been thinking about downsizing. You know how big that place is for just the two of us. Mom, you promised. We all promised Grandma before she died that the house would stay in the family. For Lexus." My daughter's name came out sharp, accusatory. "Things change, honey. Simone helped us realize." "Simone?" I cut her off. "What does Simone have to do with this?" Another pause. "She's been helping us get our affairs in order. She found a wonderful realtor." "I'm coming over," I said, already starting my car. "Right now." 20 minutes later, I stood in my parents' kitchen, facing not just Mom and Dad, but Simone too. My sister's presence wasn't a surprise. She always had a talent for inserting herself exactly where she wasn't wanted. "It was a family decision," Simone said, perched on a bar stool like she owned it. "We all agreed it's for the best." "We?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Nobody asked me. You've been so busy with Lexus and work," Mom interjected. "Simone's been here, helping us sort everything out." "For 3 months," Simone added, smiling, "while you were too preoccupied to visit." I turned to Dad, who hadn't said a word. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "Dad, you agreed to this?" He shifted uncomfortably. "Your mother's right. The house is too big now." "Then let me buy it," I said. "I'll take out a mortgage. Lexus and I could—" "It's already under contract," Simone cut in. "The buyers are offering cash, above market value." The room spun slightly. "Under contract? How long has this been going on?" "Now, Brooke," Mom started. "There's no need to get upset." "No need?" I grabbed my purse, digging out my phone. "Show me the paperwork. All of it. Now." Simone's smile didn't waver. "It's being handled by the family lawyer. Very routine. Jackson, I'll call him right now." "Actually," Simone said, "we're using someone else. More experienced in estate sales." I looked around the kitchen, at Mom's nervous hands, Dad's averted gaze, Simone's practiced calm. Something was very wrong here. "I want copies of everything," I demanded. "Today." "Of course." Simone stood, smoothing her skirt. "I'll have them sent over. Now, if you'll excuse me, Teddy's waiting." She kissed Mom's cheek, squeezed Dad's shoulder, and breezed past me like I was furniture. The front door clicked shut behind her. I stayed another hour, trying to get straight answers from my parents. They deflected, changed subjects, kept referring to Simone's help. When I left, I was more confused than ever. That night, after putting Lexus to bed, I called my best friend Shiloh. "Something's not right," I said, pacing my living room. "Simone's involved in everything suddenly. The house, their finances, their lawyer." "Want me to do some digging?" Shiloh worked at a law firm. "I still have access to property records." "Please," I said, "anything you can find." The next morning, Shiloh's text woke me. "Check your email. Now." I opened the attachment with trembling fingers. Bank statements, property records, transfer documents. My eyes caught on numbers, dates, names, Teddy's name, large sums, gambling debts. The truth hit me like a physical blow. Simone had convinced our parents to sell our childhood home, our family's legacy, to bail out her husband's gambling debts. And she'd managed to do it without my name appearing on a single document. I sat there, staring at my screen, as rage built slowly in my chest. Simone had always been the favorite, the golden child who could do no wrong. But this was beyond anything I'd imagined her capable of. My phone buzzed, a picture from Lexus's school, my daughter grinning proudly next to her art project. The same smile Grandma had. That's when I knew. Simone wasn't going to get away with this. Not this time. I picked up my phone and dialed Shiloh back. "I need your help," I said when she answered. "We're going to make them pay." Sunday family dinner had always been sacred in our house. Now, sitting across from Simone at Mom's perfectly set table, it felt more like a battleground. "Pass the potatoes, dear?" Simone's voice dripped honey. She'd brought an expensive bottle of wine. Knowing Mom would fawn over it, I handed her the bowl, our fingers brushing. "How's Teddy? Haven't seen him around lately." Her smile flickered. "Business trip. Vegas." "Vegas?" I took a slow sip of water. Interesting choice for business. Mom jumped in, clearly sensing tension. "Lexus, sweetheart. Tell everyone about your art project." My daughter brightened. "I drew our house, the big one, with Grandma's roses. Mrs. Peters said—" "Actually," Simone interrupted, "about the house. The buyers want to close early. Mom, Dad, we should discuss the timeline." I set down my fork. "Yes, let's discuss it. Let's discuss how you arranged the sale behind my back to cover Teddy's gambling debts." The clatter of silverware stopped. Mom's face went pale. Dad suddenly became very interested in his green beans. "Lexus," I said quietly, "go play in the den, okay?" Once she was gone, Simone's mask slipped. "You've been snooping. Public records aren't snooping. Neither are bank statements showing where the money's really going." "Brooke," Mom started, "you don't understand." "Oh, I understand perfectly." I pulled out my phone, scrolling through screenshots. 300,000 transferred to cover markers at the Bellagio. Another 150 at the MGM Grand. All through shell companies Teddy set up. "You have no right," Simone began. "I have every right. That house was meant for all of us. For our children. For Lexus." "Always about precious Lexus, isn't it?" Simone sneered. "Single mom Brooke, so noble, so sacrificing. Meanwhile, my husband— your husband is a gambling addict who's bleeding our parents dry." "Enough!" Mom slammed her hand on the table. "Brooke, how dare you come here and make these accusations? After everything Simone's done for this family?" I stared at her in disbelief. "Done for this family?" "She's stealing from this family." "We chose to help your sister in her time of need," Mom said. "Something you'd understand if you weren't so obsessed with money." "Money?" I laughed bitterly. "This isn't about money. This is about lies. Manipulation. Teddy's addiction." "Don't you dare talk about my husband," Simone hissed. "Someone has to. Dad?" I turned to him. "You haven't said a word. Don't you see what's happening?" He wouldn't look at me. "Your mother's right. Family helps family. This isn't help. This is fraud." Simone stood, tears welling perfectly in her eyes. "I can't believe you'd do this. Attack me. Attack Teddy. All because you're jealous. You've always been jealous." "Jealous?" I wanted to scream. "Of what? Your marriage to a man who gambles away everything you have? Your talent for manipulating our parents? Get out." Mom's voice was ice. "If you can't be civil, get out of my house." I looked around the table. At Mom's rigid anger, Dad's defeated slump, Simone's victorious tears. And something inside me hardened. "Fine." I stood slowly. "But this isn't over." "Is that a threat?" Simone asked. "No. It's a promise. To my daughter. To Grandma." I collected Lexus from the den, ignoring her questions about dessert. As we walked to the car, Simone followed us out. "You're making a mistake," she called after me. "Family loyalty means something, Brooke." I buckled Lexus into her seat before turning back. "Yes, it does. That's exactly why I'm doing this. Later that night, after tucking Lexus in with extra hugs, I called Shiloh. They acted like I was the villain, I said, pacing my kitchen. Mom actually defended them. Narcissists are good at playing victim, Shiloh replied. But listen, what Simone did, it's more illegal than you think. What do you mean? Those documents I found? There's something else. Something bigger. But I need to verify a few things first. Shiloh, tell me. Tomorrow. Meet me at my office. And Brooke? She paused. Bring everything you have about Grandma's will. Every single paper. I hung up, my mind racing. Walking to my home office, I pulled out the old filing cabinet where I kept family documents. Inside was a folder labeled Grandma, Will, and Trust. As I opened it, a photo slipped out. Grandma in her garden, roses blooming behind her, a young Lexus in her arms, both smiling that same bright smile. I won't let them take this from us, I whispered to the photo. I promise. Whatever Shiloh had found, whatever came next, one thing was clear. Simone had no idea what she'd started. But she was about to find out. That's not Mom's signature. I leaned closer to the document spread across Shiloh's desk. I mean, it looks like it, but something's off. Shiloh nodded, pulling out another paper. Compare it to this, her real signature from 3 years ago. See how the M is different? Jackson, the family lawyer we'd brought in, adjusted his glasses. Forgery. And not just on one document. I'm seeing it on multiple consent forms, property transfers, power of attorney paperwork. But why would Mom need to forge her own signature? I asked. Because, Shiloh said quietly, these weren't signed by your mom. They were signed by Simone. The office seemed to tilt sideways. What? There's more. Jackson shuffled through his papers. Your father's medical records show he was in the hospital for a minor procedure the day he supposedly signed these transfer documents. Unless he was in 2 places at once. Simone, I whispered. She forged both their signatures. And look at these dates, Shiloh pointed. The house sale was in motion months before your parents claimed they decided to sell. Simone had this planned for a long time. My phone buzzed, a text from my Aunt Angela. Just heard about your tantrum at dinner. How could you treat your sister that way? I ignored it. What about the trust? Grandma's original will? Jackson pulled out another folder. The trust was ironclad. Neither parent could sell the house without unanimous consent from all beneficiaries, including you. But 6 months ago, someone filed an amendment. Let me guess. Simone? Using a power of attorney document that's, he paused, questionable at best. She's been gaslighting them, Shiloh said. Your mom's medical records show increased anxiety prescriptions, therapy visits, all coordinated by Simone. Mom's always been anxious, I started. Yes, but look who's been writing the prescriptions. Shiloh handed me a paper. Dr. Wade, Teddy's cousin. The pieces clicked together like a horrible puzzle. They've been medicating my mother to make her more compliant? And there's something else. Jackson looked uncomfortable. Your father's affair. I froze. What affair? Emails. Shiloh turned her screen toward me. Simone found out about it last year. She's been using it as leverage. Dad would never... But even as I said it, I remembered his silence at dinner, his inability to meet my eyes. The timing matches, Jackson said, right when Simone started taking control of their finances. My phone buzzed again. Mom this time. Why are you doing this to us? To your sister? Haven't you hurt this family enough? I felt sick. They really believe I'm the problem. Classic manipulation, Shiloh said. Simone's made herself indispensable while painting you as the threat. And Teddy? What about him? She pulled up another document. Remember when he offered to handle your concerns about the house? That wasn't friendly. Look at his text messages to Simone. I read them, my hands shaking. Don't worry, babe. I'll take care of your sister. One way or another, that house is our ticket out. They were planning to intimidate me? They never expected you to fight back, Jackson said. Or find the evidence. My phone lit up again. A group text from Simone to the entire family. Brooke's trying to destroy us. She's hired lawyers to attack Mom and Dad. Please pray for us during this difficult time. The responses flooded in. Sympathy for Simone. Shock at my cruelty. Prayers for the family. I can't believe this, I whispered. Believe it, Shiloh said firmly. And use it. Because we're filing tomorrow. Filing what? Jackson handed me a thick document. Injunction against the sale, fraud charges, and a complete revocation of their power over the trust. It'll destroy them, I said. They destroyed themselves, Shiloh replied. You're just bringing it to light. My phone buzzed one final time. A text from Dad. The lawyers just delivered papers. What have you done? Before I could respond, another message appeared. From Simone. You'll regret this. I promise. I looked at the photo of Lexus on my phone background, then at the stack of evidence on the desk. Years of manipulation, lies, and theft, all carefully documented. Send the papers, I told Jackson. All of them. As he nodded and reached for his phone, I felt something shift inside me. The last threads of doubt, of family obligation, snapped clean. Shiloh, I said quietly. Thank you. For everything. She squeezed my hand. That's what real sisters are for. Outside Jackson's office, storm clouds gathered. Somewhere across town, my parents were reading legal documents that would shatter their illusions. Simone was probably already calling her lawyers. And Teddy, well, Teddy was about to learn that some threats backfire. Spectacularly. Mommy, why can't we visit Grandma's house anymore? Lexus asked, pushing her cereal around the bowl. Sarah from school lives there now. I nearly dropped my coffee mug. What do you mean? I saw her playing in the yard yesterday when we drove past. She said her parents bought it. My heart clenched. They'd already moved buyers in, without even closing the sale. Another of Simone's tactics, create facts on the ground before the legal dust settled. Baby, that house, I started. But my phone rang. Jackson's number. The judge granted our emergency injunction, he said without preamble. The current occupants have 48 hours to vacate. I stepped into the other room. They moved people in already? Illegal occupancy. Simone's realtor friend arranged it. We're adding it to the fraud charges. How's the evidence collection going? Bank records are damning. We've documented every transfer, every forged signature. But Brooke, he paused. Simone's fighting back. Hard. My other phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Please, sweetheart. Can't we handle this as a family? What's she doing? I asked Jackson. Claiming you're unstable. Using your divorce as evidence. She's got statements from family members about your erratic behavior. Of course she did. Simone had spent years building her narrative about me. Let her try, I said. We have facts. After hanging up, I found Lexus still at the kitchen table, looking small and worried. Hey, Sunshine, I sat beside her. Remember how Grandma always said that house was special? She nodded. Because of the roses. And because it was meant for you. For your future. I took her hand. I'm fighting to keep that promise. Is that why Aunt Simone is mad at us? Before I could answer, the doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Mom standing there, wringing her hands. Stay here, I told Lexus, stepping outside and closing the door behind me. Brooke, please. Mom started crying immediately. Drop the lawsuit. We can work this out. Like you worked out selling the house without telling me? Simone explained everything. The money. It's all going to a good cause. Teddy's gambling debts aren't a good cause. That's not true, but her voice wavered. She showed us the investment papers. Fake papers, Mom. Like the signatures she forged. Like the prescriptions she's been getting for you. Mom's face went pale. How did you... I have proof. Of everything. Want to see it? She stepped back. You're trying to hurt your sister. Just like you always have. No, Mom. Simone's been hurting all of us. You just can't see it yet. My phone buzzed. A text from Simone. Back off now, or everyone learns what really happened with your marriage. Think Lexus wants to know why Daddy left? I showed Mom the text. See? This is who your precious daughter really is. Mom read it, hands shaking. For a moment I saw doubt in her eyes. Then it vanished. You must have provoked her, she whispered. Simone would never... Go home, Mom. Tell Simone her threats don't scare me anymore. After she left, I called Shiloh. Simone's threatening to expose my divorce, I said. But she doesn't know... That we already have the proof about Teddy trying to seduce you, Shiloh finished. The recordings of him threatening you when you rejected him? Evidence that would destroy both their marriages, I confirmed. But I'm not using it. Not yet. Playing the long game? Exactly. Let's stick to the fraud charges first. That evening, as I tucked Lexus into bed, she asked, Are we going to be okay, Mommy? I kissed her forehead. We're going to be better than okay. We're going to win. My phone lit up with a notification. Jackson had filed the final paperwork. Tomorrow, Simone would be served with documents removing her from the inheritance entirely. I texted him back. Do it. Then I blocked Simone's number, turned off my phone, and sat in the quiet of my daughter's room, watching her sleep. Tomorrow would bring chaos, but tonight I had peace knowing I was finally fighting back. Not just for myself, but for the little girl who deserved better than her aunt's poison legacy. For the grandmother whose last wish was being honored, and for the truth that had been buried under years of manipulation. The storm was coming, and this time, I was ready. The family group chat exploded at 9:47 a.m. right when the courier delivered Simone's papers. How dare you? Simone's message came first, all caps. I've just been served? Aunt Angela chimed in. Brooke, this is unconscionable. Suing your own sister? I muted the chat and called Shiloh. It started. Good, because we just got the forensic accountant's final report. You're going to want to see this. At her office, she spread out documents across her desk. Teddy wasn't just gambling. He was laundering money through the casinos. That's why they needed the house sale to look legitimate. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I declined it. How much money are we talking about? I asked. Millions. And guess who helped him set up the accounts? Simone? Bingo. She's not just covering for him. She's his partner. My phone lit up again. A text from Lexus's school. My stomach dropped. Mrs. Robertson, please come immediately. There's been an incident. I found Lexus in the principal's office, crying quietly. Her cousin Amy, Simone's daughter, sat across the room with a smug look. What happened? I asked. The principal cleared her throat. Amy told her classmates that Lexus's mother is trying to steal from the family. Things escalated. She said you're evil, Lexus whispered, that we're not family anymore. I knelt beside her chair. Look at me, baby. They're scared because we're telling the truth. That's all. Mrs. Wade is here to collect Amy, the secretary announced. Simone swept in, designer handbag swinging. Amy, darling, are you okay? Did she hurt you? Lexus didn't do anything, the principal started. I wasn't talking to you, Simone snapped, then turned to me. Happy now? Using children to fight your battles? You mean like you just did? At least my daughter knows what loyalty means. I gathered Lexus's things. Let's go, sweetie. We're done here. Yes, run away, Simone called after us. It's what you do best. In the car, Lexus asked, Why is Aunt Simone so mean now? She's always been mean, baby. She just used to hide it better. My phone rang. Dad this time. I put it on speaker. Princess, his voice was tired. What's this about removing Simone from the inheritance? Did you read the papers I sent? About the fraud? The money laundering? Your mother's devastated. She can barely get out of bed. Because of what I did? Or what Simone did? Silence. Then, there must be another way. There isn't. Not anymore. I hung up as another text came through. From Teddy. You think you're so clever, but I know things about you, sweetheart. Things that would break your daughter's heart. I forwarded it to Jackson with one word. Now. Within an hour, news broke in our community. Someone, thank you, Shiloh, had leaked the forensic report to local business groups. Teddy's gambling debts, the money laundering, Simone's involvement. The family chat exploded again. Angela, is this true? Mom, it's all lies. It has to be. Dad, Teddy, call me immediately. Simone, I can explain everything. Then, the bombshell. A private message from Teddy to me. You bitch. The feds just froze our accounts. I'm filing for divorce. I forwarded that to Simone without comment. My phone rang again. Jackson. It's done, he said. The house is legally yours and Lexus's. Only yours. The whole thing? Every brick. And I've got something else for you. The original plans your grandmother left. For turning it into a community center. I smiled, remembering Grandma's dreams. Send them over. That evening, I took Lexus to see the house. The for sale sign was gone, replaced by a notice of pending legal action. We stood on the sidewalk, looking up at the place that held so many memories. Is it ours again? She asked. Yes, but we're not going to live here. She looked confused. Then what? We're going to make it into a special place. For people who need help getting away from mean families. Like Grandma always wanted. Can I help? Of course, sunshine. It'll be your legacy too. My phone buzzed one last time. Simone. I see you at the house. Let me in. We need to talk. I watched her car idling at the curb, saw her desperate face through the window. Come on, baby. I took Lexus's hand. Time to go home. Behind us, Simone's car door opened, but we were already walking away, leaving the past where it belonged. Tomorrow would bring new battles, but tonight, justice felt like victory, and victory felt like peace. The calls started at dawn. First Uncle Robert, then Aunt Marie, Cousin Patricia, each one more desperate than the last. What have you done? Uncle Robert demanded. Your mother's in pieces. Check the property register, I said calmly, repeating the same words I'd used with all of them. The what? The public property register. Look up who owns the house now. By noon, my phone was a symphony of notifications. The family had discovered that not only was the house solely in my name, but it was already being renovated. Permits filed, contractors hired, all perfectly legal and irreversible. You're turning it into a what? Aunt Angela's voice cracked over the phone. A shelter and resource center, I repeated, for families escaping toxic situations. But what about the family legacy? This is the legacy, the one Grandma actually wanted. I hung up as another text came through, from Dad. Your mother's had to increase her medication. Is this what you wanted? Before I could respond, Shiloh called. Turn on Channel 4, she said, without preamble. I flipped on the TV to see Teddy's face plastered across the screen. The headline below read, Local business owner under federal investigation for money laundering. Holy shit, I whispered. Keep watching. The reporter continued. Sources say the investigation extends to multiple family members involved in an elaborate scheme involving real estate fraud and casino transactions. My phone exploded again, this time with messages from people outside the family. Old friends, neighbors, even Teddy's business partners. Did you know about this? Is this why you've been fighting them? We had no idea. I turned off the TV as Lexus came downstairs for breakfast. "Why is everyone calling?" she asked, pouring cereal. "Remember how I said the truth would come out? It's happening now." The doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Simone. Mascara streaked, designer outfit wrinkled. "Lexus, go finish breakfast in your room, okay?" Once she was upstairs, I opened the door. "You've ruined everything," Simone hissed, pushing past me into the foyer. "Teddy's left me. His accounts are frozen. The FBI is asking questions." "You ruined everything yourself," I said. "I just exposed it." "I need money," she said. "Just until this blows over. You have the house now. You could take out a loan." I laughed. "Are you serious? I'm your sister. You stopped being my sister the moment you tried to steal our daughter's inheritance. Our parents will finally see you for who you really are." She grabbed my arm. "You don't understand. These people Teddy borrowed from, they're dangerous. I need to pay them back." I pulled away. "Not my problem." "Then I'll tell everyone about your divorce. About how your husband—" "Go ahead," I cut her off. "Tell them how your precious Teddy tried to seduce me. How he threatened me when I rejected him. I have the recordings." She went pale. "You're lying." I pulled out my phone, played the audio. Teddy's voice, slurred but clear, making propositions, then threats. "I kept this as insurance," I said. "But maybe it's time everyone heard it." "You can't," she whispered. "Watch me." The sound of a car door made us both turn. Through the window, we saw Mom and Dad pulling into the driveway. "Perfect timing," I said. "Let's all talk about the truth." "Please," Simone's voice cracked. "I'll do anything." Too late. I opened the door as our parents approached. "Mom, Dad, come in." Simone was just about to explain everything. "I saw the news," Dad said quietly. "The FBI—" "It's not what you think," Simone started. "Then what is it?" Mom's voice was different, harder, clearer. "Tell us the truth. For once." I watched my sister crumble under their gaze, years of lies finally catching up to her. "I can't," she whispered, then bolted past them, out the door. We stood in silence until Mom spoke again. "The medication. Did she really—" "Yes," I said. "I have proof of that too." Dad sat heavily on my couch. "We've been such fools." "You were manipulated," I said. "But now you know." "The house," Mom started. "What you're doing with it is what Grandma wanted. I found her original plans in her papers. Can we see them?" I nodded, hearing Lexus's footsteps on the stairs. "Yes. But first, I think you need to talk to your granddaughter. She has questions." As Lexus appeared, Mom's eyes filled with tears. Real ones this time. Not Simone's theatrical performance. Sometimes I realized, revenge isn't about destruction. Sometimes it's about reconstruction, building something better from the ashes of what was lost. The renovation crew was just leaving when Simone's Mercedes screeched to a halt in front of the house. She looked expensive and desperate, a dangerous combination. "We need to talk," she called out, tottering up the walkway in heels that cost more than most people's rent. I stood in the doorway of what used to be our childhood home, now stripped to its bones and ready for transformation. "Nothing left to say, Simone." "Please." She reached into her designer bag. "I have something you need to see." "More forged documents?" "Proof that I'm still a beneficiary." She thrust a paper at me. "Grandma's original will. The one you don't know about." I took it, scanning quickly. "This is dated 3 months before she died." "Exactly. After your last visit, when you fought with her about selling the house." That made me look up. I never fought with Grandma about selling the house. That's not what she told me. Simone's smile was sharp. Not what she told any of us. Because it never happened. I pulled out my phone, dialed a number. "Hey, Jackson." Remember that recording we found in Grandma's safety deposit box? Can you play it for my sister? I put the phone on speaker. Grandma's voice, clear and strong, filled the air. If you're hearing this, someone's trying to change my wishes. The house goes to my granddaughters equally, but if either tries to sell it for profit, their share transfers to the other. Brooke, honey, I trust you to do what's right. Simone's face went slack. That's not. Dated 2 days before she died, I said. Her last recording. Wanna guess what else was in that safety deposit box? You're lying. Letters, dozens of them, documenting every manipulation, every lie you told her about me. She kept them all. Then why didn't she say anything? Because she was protecting you, like everyone always has. Simone sank onto the porch steps, her perfect facade cracking. You don't understand. Teddy, the people he owes money to, are the least of your problems now that the FBI's involved. I did it for him, she whispered. Everything was for him. No, you did it for yourself, because you couldn't stand the thought of me having anything you didn't control. That's not true. Really? Then explain this. I pulled up a text on my phone, from Teddy to her, dated years ago. Baby, forget the house. We can find another way. Her response? No, I won't let her have it. I won't let her win. Simone stared at the screen. How did you... Teddy gave us everything. All the texts, all the plans. He's cutting a deal with the feds. He wouldn't. He already did. You're going to be charged with fraud, Simone. Multiple counts. She stood suddenly, swaying. I'll tell them about you and Teddy. How you tried to seduce him. With witnesses present, security cameras rolling, go ahead. Mom and Dad will never believe you. They already do. They've seen the evidence. The family knows everything. Check your social media lately. She pulled out her phone, scrolled through countless unfriending notifications, public denouncements, family members distancing themselves. You've destroyed me, she whispered. No, you destroyed yourself. I just showed everyone the truth. The house. She looked up at the construction. What are you really doing with it? Exactly what Grandma wanted. A place for people who need to escape toxic families. People like you've been your whole life. I'm not toxic. Really? Ask your daughter why she's in therapy. Ask Mom why she needed all those anxiety meds you pushed on her. Ask Dad why he couldn't sleep for years. Tears streaked her perfect makeup. I just wanted to win, to control, to hurt me. Choose your ending. A police car turned onto the street, moving slowly. They're here for you, I said quietly. Jackson called them when you arrived. Violation of the restraining order. You wouldn't. Watch me. As the officers approached, Simone straightened her spine, tried to summon her old authority. It crumbled when they took her arms. Ma'am, you need to come with us. Brooke, please, she called as they led her away. We're family. I watched until the police car disappeared around the corner. Then I walked inside, through rooms that would soon help others escape what I'd lived through. My phone buzzed. A text from Shiloh. Just heard. You okay? Before I could respond, another message came through. From an unknown number. Mrs. Robertson, this is Detective Morris. We need to discuss your brother-in-law's testimony, and we have some questions about your sister's involvement in other fraudulent activities. I took a deep breath, looked at the construction plans spread across what used to be our dining room table. Time to finish this, I texted back. I'll tell you everything. Welcome to Robertson House, Lexis said into the microphone, her voice clear and strong. My great-grandmother built this home with love, and today we're making sure it stays that way. The crowd gathered for the opening ceremony applauded. I watched from the side as my daughter, no longer the scared little girl from just months ago, continued her speech. This place is for anyone who needs help getting away from people who hurt them. Like my aunt tried to hurt us. A murmur went through the audience. Everyone knew the story now. It had been all over the local news when Simone and Teddy were sentenced. She got 5 years for fraud. He got 12 for money laundering and extortion. Mom squeezed my hand as Lexus finished speaking. "She sounds just like your grandmother," she whispered. "She has her spirit," I agreed. After the ceremony, as volunteers showed visitors around the newly renovated house, Shiloh found me in Grandma's old garden. The roses were blooming again. "Did you see who's here?" she asked quietly. I nodded. I'd spotted Simone slipping in during Lexus's speech, standing at the back in plain clothes, so different from her designer wardrobe. The ankle monitor under her pants was part of her probation deal. Should I ask her to leave? No, I said. Let her see what she tried to destroy. Inside, the house had been transformed. The formal dining room was now a counseling center. The living room, a community gathering space. Upstairs, temporary apartments for families in crisis. Everything Grandma had dreamed of. Dad approached, looking older but somehow lighter. "Princess, there's someone who wants to talk to you." I followed him to find Amy, Simone's daughter, waiting nervously. "I'm sorry," she blurted out. "For what I said to Lexus at school. For everything. Does your mom know you're here?" She nodded. "She told me to come. She said I needed to learn about making things right." My throat tightened. Maybe Simone was learning something after all. Later, as the crowd thinned, Mom pulled me aside. "I found these," she said, holding out a stack of letters. "In your father's study. They're from your grandmother to you, written the year before she died." Simone had hidden them. I took them, recognizing Grandma's handwriting. "My dearest Brooke." "She knew," Mom said softly, "about everything. She was trying to protect you from Simone even then." "Why didn't she tell me?" "Read them. She explains everything." A commotion at the front door drew our attention. A young woman stood there with 2 small children, looking lost. Is this the place that helps families?" she asked timidly. Lexus stepped forward before I could. "Yes. Come in. We have room for you." I watched my daughter lead the family inside, showing them around with gentle confidence. In that moment, she wasn't just my child. She was Grandma's legacy living on. "Brooke?" I turned to find Simone standing there, her designer confidence stripped away. "Thank you," she said quietly, "for letting me stay, for letting Amy apologize. It wasn't for you." "I know." She looked around at the transformed house. "This is what Mom always wanted, isn't it? To help people?" "Yes." I never understood that. I only saw what I could take. She pulled something from her pocket, a small key. "This belongs to you. It's to her jewelry box. The real one, not the decoy I showed everyone." I took it, feeling its weight. "Why now?" "Because I finally read her letters, the ones she wrote to me, warning me about what I was becoming." Her voice cracked. "I didn't listen then. But I'm listening now." Before I could respond, Lexus called out, "Mom, we need help setting up the new family's room." "Go," Simone said. "They need you." I watched her walk away, shoulders bent, but head up. Through the window, I saw her hug Amy tightly before they left together. Inside, the house hummed with new life. Volunteers arranged furniture, counselors set up offices, and in the garden, Mom was teaching Lexus how to tend Grandma's roses. I unfolded the first of Grandma's letters, reading her words. "My dearest Brooke, when the time comes, you'll know what to do with this house. You'll understand that sometimes the greatest revenge is not destruction, but creation. Build something beautiful from the pain. That's how we truly win." Looking around at what we'd created, a sanctuary, a new beginning, a true legacy, I knew she was right. Some debts can never be repaid. But some victories aren't about getting even. They're about getting better, about breaking cycles, about planting roses where others tried to sow thorns. And sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply proving them wrong.